Good evening, folks. Um, this is just going to be a live stream on what we can do to prepare ourselves for when the shit hits the fan, which is looking more and more likely. Um, Best case scenario, we have all this stuff ready, but we don't use it. And we can use it for camping. Worst case scenario, we need to use it. We have grid down, and I'm not saying we do right now. I'm done. The worst case scenario is we have grid down, we have no electricity, possibly no running water, and stores don't have any food because people have to make a run on the stores. Right now, many stuff in the stores are gone. I just came back from Fred Meyer this morning, and actually last night I was looking for salami. I really wanted salami and pepper cheese sandwich. And Miracle Whip. I got the Miracle Whip, but I couldn't because I was upset that I couldn't find salami under $7 an ounce. That was the specialty salamis, boar's head at Fred Meyer. I like to have the one from Oscar Mayer. Who loves Oscar? Who hates Oscar Mayer? But it has the little pieces of peppercorns in it. Oh, I love that. And it fills up the bread. So I like to use the Oscar Mayer. Well, they haven't had any all week. All they have is bologna, but bologna. Bologna's kind of bland, in my opinion. I have 3 packages of bologna in my freezer because I mistakenly bought that thinking, all right, salami on sale. It was bologna. So I stocked up on bologna, used 1 package out, and I put the others in the freezer. I figured I can add it to my salami, or I can throw it on the grill, cook it up. So, with that said, we have shortages at the grocery store. Water rates are going up. Electricity rates are going up. So, what can we do about it? Well, here's like electricity, for example. Some things you could do. You could buy a generator and run off of that generator a few items in your house, depending on how powerful a generator you got. And everybody knowing you have a generator. And they'll show up at your house. Personally, I prefer to have something electric, kind of electric storage. Well, winter's coming. Keep in mind, winter is coming. Sun is going to be rare. So I'm trying to find different ways to produce power. Right now, I keep it charged up, plugged into the wall, because I don't have any solar. I knew that was going to be a problem, but I didn't know I wouldn't get any. It doesn't even pick up ambient light. It's kind of sad. Now, if I had some bifacial solar panels, it would at least charge with ambient light on the backside. I could probably turn the panel over and get more power. I hope somebody comes on that knows about bifacial solar panels. I've been watching quite a few videos on new technology coming out. Tesla guys, you watch their videos, and they have lots of new technology. Watch 3 of their videos a day. They have, water can be a short supply. So what are you going to do for water? Well, Wintertime, you can melt some snow, right? And through a filter. I wouldn't just melt snow and use it because it's been sitting on the ground. So run it through a filter. I would suggest cheesecloth, get out the big stuff, and then test it. I have a test. So get a test. Test the water. If it appears clean on the meter, and you're okay. If not, you can, there's several options. You can boil it. Now, you can just throw the snow into you can fill up your pan with snow, say a 2-quart pan. And when you're done melting it, fill it all the way up with snow. When you're done, you're done. It doesn't give you a whole lot of water. Remember, 10 inches of snow is 1 inch water. The rain. So, with that in mind, you know how much you can bring in. We need, I think, at least 10 gallons per person. Let's be on the safe side. I have 5 gallons out here in the shed and 5 gallons in the house. That's not really enough, but I'm looking for storage solutions. You store water in these clear plastic bottles. Got one right there. You store in those clear plastic bottles. After a while, you're going to see something floating around in the water. It's called bacteria. The bacteria is in your water. It's not alive until it gets some light. So if you're going to store in that kind of bottle, that bottle right there, you want to keep it in the dark, completely in the dark. I wish they put those in black bottles so they don't have to worry about it. If we had some that were sealed, they didn't produce any bacteria. They purified that water. But if you ever open it, it's going to create bacteria. And if you refill it, like I've been doing, you no longer have to serve it. I run that through my pure, my zero water, and it is completely clean, but it still has some bacteria. We found out the hard way. We went to grab another bottle, and what is this crap floating around in here? It was like slime. So we had to pour the water out rather than filter it again. Nasty. And we filled it up again with some clean water after we washed it out. You can use bleach, actually, probably a half a cup of bleach in that 5 gallons. But, you can use even less if you don't put, say, fill with 2 gallons of water. Keep in mind that water is pretty heavy. So 2 gallons will do it. You cap the end somehow. Shake it all over the place. Get that bleach everywhere. And then take it outside, put the faucet on, nozzle, hose on there, and spray a cup amount of water in there. Move it out. Do that several times just to rinse it out. Otherwise, you'll have that bleach taste. Now, that bleach is not going to harm you. A little bit of bleach in the water is not going to harm you. Better to use chlorine, but chlorine's kind of expensive. There is chlorine in the bleach. That. Why is that? I don't know. Like, what the hell? That was weird. I guess on the tripod, pushing one of the buttons. Oh, it kept messing me up. There, now it's gone. Okay, now I got that off my screen. I hope somebody comes in, maybe Lenny. Four corners. Four corners I would really love to have in here because I believe he's a prepper. You might know a little bit, but I don't know. I recommend having seeds. Well, wintertime, you really don't need them unless you have something like this. I have to check. I'm going to insulate it, and then I'm going to put some pressure plants. I'll probably, I got several grow lights yeah, right here. Plugged in. Nope, not plugged in. Uh, so, water, um, you can't say it's summertime. Wintertime, you can get water out of it just with a maybe plant shade that water can get through it. Well, it'll collect the dew in the morning, which you'll get a lot in the wintertime. Put a tarp underneath it and have that flow into a container, maybe a 5-gallon bucket. And then you can pour that bucket through that filter I mentioned earlier. Um, you know, cheesecloth. And if you can clean it more than that, there's plenty of filters on the market. I use zero water. It takes dissolved solids out of the water, which you won't get if you're getting water from the air. So it's something to, a coffee filter, run it through a coffee filter. It cleans up. But if it comes off your roof, you want to clean up your water a lot more. Uh, there's chemicals on in your roofing that can stay in the water. So you want to be careful with that. Uh, but again, back into the summer, if the disaster would cause all problems in the summer, there's technology out there to gather water from the air. I just saw a video this morning about a company that's been putting water collection systems around the world in third world countries. Many countries in dry areas of Africa, in the Sahara Desert, they're testing the system. They pull several gallons of water. They put up a water harvesting farm. They look like solar panels. That you have a panel over here that don't have PV cells. In the middle, you have one with PV cells, and that one runs the system. The two on the outside, you'll see them steam up as the day goes on. Yep. Because what does the sun do to water? It evaporate, right? So it'll have water drops on. Well, it's collecting in the middle of that, underneath the solar panel. It's collecting the water. So what they did is they put in these farms to collect the water. Whoever just came in the chat, please give me thumbs up. I can give you the StreamYard link and you can come up on the panel. I would love ideas on prepping. I am giving what I have learned recently. One didn't appear to stay. Okay. We'll get more. I also, there's other ways. You can there's a solar, it's a device, it's on like a tripod, and it has a solar panel at the top that runs the system, and it causes the bottom part of the system to, it's a metal conical shape, comes to a point, and what this solar panel is doing is running something to cool that cone. And what happens when you, say, a hot summer day, you have a glass with ice and a cold drink? What happens to the outside of the glass? Since your drink is colder than the air, well, the glass starts to look like it's sweating. What it's really doing is pulling the moisture out of the air, collecting on the glass, making it look like it's sweat. When you're working out, the liquid starts beading up on your skin everywhere, especially on your arm. It has the same look, so they call it sweating. Well, what this device does is it gets the temperature down below the ambient temperature, and water starts to collect on the cone. And then when get enough water on that cone, it starts to gravity starts to push it down, and it runs down because it clings to surfaces, but gravity pushes it down. And you put a container underneath it, and it collects all that water. And it's not as good as that first one I said, with the solar panel in the middle and then the collectors on the outside. That one's more efficient. But if it's just for me, we got probably enough water for us to drink. This is only for drinking water. You don't want it to collect water for your whole house. Drinking water is more important than taking a shower or cooking your food. Well, actually, no, you need the drinking water for your cooking. But washing your clothes, washing your body, you can cut back on those and do them less often and do bigger loads. But your drinking water, you want to be able to collect your drinking water. Hello, for somebody that just came in. I'm looking for prepping advice. I'm dispensing what I do know, what I have learned recently. Please give me a thumbs up, and I can provide the StreamYard link if you like. The comments are open. I can talk about anything about prepping that I might know the answer to. I'm going over the things you need to do to prepare. Right now, I'm talking about summertime, because you can collect water in the wintertime pretty easy. But in the summertime, they make collection systems that you can collect water from the air anywhere in the world. They're testing the system in the Sahara Desert, and they've got the system set up throughout Central Africa for the drier nation, to provide water for the people. The people still have to walk long distances to get this water, but it's free. They're not charging for it because this is how they're testing the system. And water is the most important thing. In the wintertime, it's not that bad. You can just collect water from the air using tarp system, or you can melt snow. But for states like Nevada, California, they don't really have that option, and many states in the south, southwest, and over on the east, southeast, much drier. But in the southeast, you can collect more water from the air than maybe here in Oregon, because you walk outside, it's so muggy. So that mugginess is moisture, which you can pull out of the air. Look at any swamp cooler. It separates it uses that moisture in the air to cool your house. It has airflow over it, and the moisture just pulls right out of the air, and you can pull it right out of your house. It, run a fan over it, and it cools it. It's called swamp cooler. But food-wise, you need to learn how to can. That is the big thing. And garden. Right now, it's still not hard to get vegetables. So I recommend local farms, get your vegetables that way. You can still buy at a regular grocery store, but some of the stuff's getting very addictive. It's getting more expensive. So I recommend an emergency food supply. Right now, my wife and I have 6 months worth of food for each one of us. So if push comes to shove, one of us can eliminate the other and have a whole year. I'm kidding. I give them. This shed is off grid. I'm trying to learn this stuff. The house right now is still on grid. We don't have enough solar panels, and the solar panels are not charging right. You got any ideas? I'd much appreciate it. We're right now trying to get solar panels from a company called Ion Solar. It can cost us $168 a month, but we won't have a power bill. And our rate won't go up. But over here, right there, you see the blue right there? That's a power wall. I built that power wall for this shed. Behind me, that is not the food storage. The food storage is still in the house because I don't have climate control in this shed. I'm still in this thing's still under construction. I just finished the roof before the monsoon started. It's just finding the time and trying to make money to take care of all this stuff. I have right now 5 panels. One's 24 volt and the rest are 12 volt. 3 of them are 9 VB, the 24 volt, and the 2 of the 12 volts are 9 VB. That's 9 bus bars. They're more efficient and they stay cooler. So the 2 that are powering the shed are 5 VB. They're first ones I bought. So they don't keep this thing charged enough. I have DC, no problem. It's just when I run AC in here, it runs it down pretty fast. I am running AC right now. I'm at 13.2 volts and 12 volts. If we go with Ion Solar, we'll have 28 now. And they'll be a lot better than the ones I have. They're all 9 VB and they're 45-year life. I've been prepping for 2 years. So this is quite the learning experience. I started with food. We have some water storage now, but not a lot. Not as much as we should. We just don't have any place to put it. So I'm looking for water storage ideas too. I have water storage for the garden, but I have more for the garden than I do for the 2 of us. I'm learning how to do this stuff. YouTube's been very handy to learn this stuff, and I've gotten away from this prepping stuff for a little bit, and end up getting a disinformation strike. What state? Oregon. We've had several years of drought. It's wet right now, but that's pretty normal for this time of year. Oh, what state are you in? Oh, I like your name, Battleborn. That's a battery system. The second best battery system that I can think of. There's better ones out there now. But Battleborn's pretty good. You ask anybody about power storage, and Battleborn comes up. So I'm very familiar with the name. What state are you in? I'm in Oregon. Nevada. Oh, you can get water out of thin air in Nevada. Now I know how to do it. I just have a rudimentary knowledge of how to do it. I need to study a little bit more, but YouTube has lots of videos on how to pull water out of the air anywhere except maybe the Antarctic and the Arctic. If it's an ice environment, the only way to get water is to melt the snow. You can't pull it out of the air. You know, I'm sure you knew that. But you can pull water out in the hottest desert. You could set up the system in Nevada, Death Valley, and you'll get water. Because water is naturally in our air. It's in a vapor form. And what this does, there's two systems. I haven't learned that much about the one this morning. There's a solar panel in the middle and two water collectors on the outside. And it collects that water into a container, whatever storage container you use. The one that I can probably design uses a device that cools the steel cone at the bottom. Now, the cone does not have any hole in it, but it has that very sharp point. And underneath that sharp point, you have your water collector. And how it does that, the solar panel at the top, collecting energy from the sun with a battery. And what it's doing, it's sending cold down to that metal cone, causing it to collect the moisture out of the air. The same concept. You have a glass with ice in it, and water or some other beverage. What happens to the outside of the glass? It collects moisture. Most preppers have ideas from other people and things they've come up with. Me, it's all other people. I am learning this stuff from other people. I know somebody in Nevada. No. You can get they're testing this system. Both of them, both those systems are being tested in desert. One is being tested in the desert of Arizona. 120 is a close average temperature of the summer, but they pull water out of that air, and it's a dry heat. I know. I lived that. I did. I live in Oregon. I got a little tired of the constant heat, and it's hard to grow things. There's not enough water. Knowing what I'm learning about water, and how to collect it. I think I could grow in Arizona now. So it doesn't matter if it's dry. That one system that has the solar panel in the middle, the water collectors on the outside, they're testing that in the Sahara. How dry heat do you think they got? Remember in the movies, guy's walking through the desert and he's turning bright red and his skin starts flaking off. There's no water. You don't see any water. You might find an oasis, but you can make your own oasis by collecting the water out of the air. It's everywhere. Now, probably the driest place would be in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Because what does cold do? It pulls the moisture out of the air. Heat does not. Heat makes it evaporate. So it's in the air. Think about it. If you don't have heat, it's not going to make the water evaporate. So there's going to be less water in the air. Cold air, in the wintertime, I don't know if you've ever been in a state with winter. I know in Nevada it's pretty warm. So is California. I used to live there. And I remember going to school with 120 degrees. Southern California, LA. But they canceled school that week because they didn't have air conditioners in the classroom. I went outside and played. I was fine. Hey, living in Arizona, California's a cakewalk. I think Arizona is even drier than Nevada. You have mountains. You have the Sierra Nevada. I don't know what part of Nevada you live in, but I have somebody that lives right outside of Vegas, and he's like, "It's so hot here. Don't like to go outside." It's like, why did you move there? He doesn't like rain, so he went to the perfect spot. Done rain. Oregon's famous for rain, but it rains from October to February. Oh, April. And it's often on from October to November. And then December, it's pretty much full on rain. And then January, maybe late January, we get snow. Very weird. We get snow in the mountains. Down here in the flatlands, no, not much snow. I live in the Willamette Valley, 5 minutes from Portland. So you want to talk about collecting water? You can do it where you're at. Like I said, water goes into the air when you have it heat. A lot of trees. Yes, we have lots of trees, and they're getting very dry. We have fires breaking out every year now. Big forest fires. Even though it's wet here right now, we still have forest fires. The eastern side of Washington and Oregon is still dry. And with the nights getting down to freezing, it's getting even drier. You see, oh, there's Four Corners. Solar still for water. That's what I was talking about. If you have, I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about. Four Corners is from Colorado, southwest corner. We know the two of us know the Four Corners area. We're from different states there. He's from Colorado, I was from Arizona. So there's that. But I love the Four Corners area. That's handy. Oh, there's a place over here in Sandy, Oregon. There's a farm. They put in a 50,000-gallon storage tank made out of a bladder, and they filled that storage tank. They put it underground, and they filled up that storage tank in just a day and a half of rain, collecting all over the property. And they had to put in another one. That's the difference, Battleborn, between Nevada and here. You can fill up 10 to 50,000 gallons in 1 or 2 days if you have the right collection system. In Nevada, it might take you a little bit longer. You might have to make some devices to collect the water, like I was talking about, using the condensation. Four Corners, what kind of collection system you have? Hey, Four Corners, you want to come up on the StreamYard? It might be easier. Let me see if I can get the link. Sometimes you can't. Copy. 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 Oh, there we go. Copied. All right. I'm going to post the link. Anybody wants to come up. Here. Oh. I'm using a tripod, so it's a little tricky. There is the link. Hey, Lisa. I am talking about prepping. It's remember Joe Biden said that it's going to be a dark winter. That was during the election. Well, now it's here. This could be our dark winter. So I've heard Steve Turley talking about it, and I think we need to prep for it, just in case. So we've been talking a lot about water collection. The system I like, you use a system, a heavy duty tripod, maybe something for landscaping. You put those meters on there and you can judge distances with it. What do they call them things? Anyway, you can mount and make a tripod of some kind, maybe using steel pipe. And you can put on the top small 12-volt solar panel, and put on in a box a small 12-volt battery with a switch on the outside. And when you turn that switch on, the whole system turns on. It has circuitry in there that causes the metal cone at the bottom to get cold, colder than the ambient temperature. And when that gets colder than the ambient temperature, it starts to sweat. Not really sweat. It's just condensation. When something in the air is colder than the air temperature, it tends to collect water out of the air. And it doesn't matter where you are, as long as it's not cold, because it's very hard to use this system when it's cold. Besides, cold dries the air. That's something I didn't know going into this video, but talking about it, I found out, hey, the colder air is drier. You can tell when you try to breathe, the hairs in your nose dry up. And you say, in your house house temperature gets cold. What do? You turn on the you try putting water in the air, and it gets really cold. Coal is not that good for heating the house. It's very unhealthy. Ask people from the Navajo reservation, how help you that. Wear a mask every time you handle the coal. Coal dust is what is killing a lot of Navajos. Why their life expectancy is 45. They use coal. There's lots of coal on the land. So you're much better off using something else for heat. Look at Europe. Oh my gosh. Europe has resorted to using wood to heat their homes. It's gotten so bad there. Yes, pellet stoves are awesome. Yeah, fireplaces are already banned here. If you have one already, it's fine. Grandfather did, but we don't have. So I don't have that option. Can you use wood in a coal heater? Now, I came up with an idea to warm this shed. You know about geothermal? Well, all my walls are exposed. Well, I can drill holes and run copper pipe back and forth, back and forth. And then I can run that copper pipe 6 feet in the ground if I could dig in there. So I won't be able to use geothermal because we have too many rocks. But what I can do is solar heater, solar hot water heater. I made one in high school. Worked great. Actually, I was on the team made the hot air one. It didn't work for this, but the hot water one did. And I've got the wood ready to build some solar heaters, put in the windows. Boiler heater. Okay. So you have those radiators in your rooms. Those radiator heaters. That means you're using up water too. What are you gonna do if they shut off the water? Or something happens and the water shuts off? What are you gonna do? You have no water. If you have the land, I recommend putting in geothermal. You can run that just to maybe put heat in floors. Best if you can put it in your new construction. We have such oil too. Only heat though. There you go. You could use geothermal. Can you dig 6 feet down? You have the ability to dig 6 feet down and then run pipe back and forth, snake it across the property, and then run it into your wall. If you don't have it now, you can add it, but it's going to tear up your wall. What you could do is run it. Well, what that does is it keeps your home around 65 to 75 degrees, because 6 feet down is where the perfect temperature is. But if you have, you can build a black box and coil copper pipe. One layer of copper pipe. Run water through it. It'll heat your water hotter than your water heater, your electric water heater, your gas water heater. And you can use that to fill your water heater up. You get straight to your water heater. So your water heater will work less and your electricity bill will go down. Well, it's like using solar, right? It is solar. I've seen people put these systems for to store the hot water in their basement. They can store 500 gallons at a time. They build these 500-gallon systems under their house using the solar heat. Nobody want to come up? I'd love to talk about it rather than having to read it. It's good to see you, Lenny, Lisa, Four Corners, and our new member, Battleborn. I hope you come back. Um, right, right now, with my prepping, we have 6 months worth of food. So we got enough food for the winter, but I also recommend adding to the, we got our survival food from Four Patriots and my Patriots Club. Um, Four Patriots, in their kits, they make this rice pilaf, nasty. Um, they will work with you to put something else in there. I hated, well, it's good with fat, so fat cures everything. Uh, Torrance bacon. Well, anyway, they've added meat. Four Patriots add meat there and bugged out. Why? Something happened? Or are you ready to bug out? Um, right now, we've been talking about water, you know, having enough water, uh, ways to get water if the water system shut off. Like something that uses condensation is the best way that I've seen to collect water. You can do it in the desert. Oh, you're there? Are you practicing? I don't need to do that right now. If we need to, we can move our bed in here. But it's really cold. We don't have insulation yet. Why would I do that? I have slept in my vehicle. I had to go 85 miles to work, so I would sleep in my vehicle. Oh yeah. Well, canned food only lasts 5 years. You have pretty good internet up there in the mountains, huh? Battleborn. Canned food at best lasts 5 years. It starts to degrade after that, but it is possible you could have them for 50 years. It's difficult in the way they can to have it last 25 years. Um, if they use Mylar in the system, then yeah, you can do 25 years. But you go to the grocery store and buy canned food, it's only gonna last 5. That's all it's designed for, which is okay for the short term, you know, 5 years, that short. But I recommend storing up dry goods like pasta, beans, uh, many vegetables like peas. You can store dry also. If you have a freeze dryer, you can make your own survival food. I'm working at getting a freeze dryer. Four Patriots has a freeze dryer for sale, and they will sell you the Mylar bags. Mylar is the best material to store food, especially freeze dryer. What is number 10 can? I'm just going on base what I know. So, can you explain that? It's starting to get cold. I brought. Yeah. And if it continues getting cold, I'll shut the access to the attic because the attic's open here. And then I'll close the door, turn on the heater. So you can get number 10 cans to last 25 years. Where do you get those? Where do you find products in number 10 cans? Because regular canned goods don't have that. Uh, flour, yeah. Flour lasts 5 years before it starts to go bad. Sugar, if the ants get to it, you're done. But flour in that form does not last. It will go bad. But I think they say 6 months to a year for flour storage before it starts turning rancid. Rice and beans too, but not as fast as flour. The flour is processed. It doesn't have the protective husk that the wheat has, or the barley, or whatever grain you're using. Once you take the outside off, it starts to degrade. Flour has no husk. Yes, hard wheat you can store for years. Look in the Bible when what's his name? Joseph went to Egypt as a slave. He interpreted the Pharaoh's dream and said there's going to be a drought and a famine for 7 years. So they stored up grain for 7 years. We know grain will last at least 7 years. If you keep it in the dark, look, they still find grain when they open up a new chamber in the pyramids, and they still find grain that's still good. And it's been centuries. So wheat will last a long time. Other grains like corn, you can do the same. I have a bunch of dry corn that I grew myself. It's popcorn though. So it won't be too much good to eat. You pop it and then eat it. But next year I'm going to plant it. It's been drying since last year. I'm going to see if it'll grow. It grew really well the first year. I'm hoping I can regrow it. Yeah. But I have for Patriots and my Patriots supply food storage for the long term, 25 years. You can buy now. You can go to the store, like one of those camping stores, buy Mountain House that's like $15 for a bag. How do I know if it's number 10 can? I've never seen a number on the can. If I check the link, my stream will go down. So you'll have to show it to me later. Save it, or put it in the private chat. Actually, you have to be on StreamYard. So 10 is the size. Well, that'd be good. I got a can of beans that's been sitting for a couple of years. Yellow bean. I tried to make a bean casserole with it. Better. Now, I'll have to remember the number 10 can information on it. Unless you put that in the private chat. It's hard for me to what the right. Okay, it's not in the private chat, so you can put that in the private chat, that link. Thank you. I appreciate it. I haven't seen Lenny. No, nobody wants to come up. If you could come up, I could show you could show me what you're talking about. A lot easier. No. There's the link. So come on up. I would love to talk about this on the chat or on the screen, on the panel. Also, there's power storage. We were talking, me and Battleborn were talking about the power. He asked if I was off grid. Not yet. I was off grid in Arizona, but not here. Got the 64-ounce can. But right now, I have in my shed. I have a power wall built. It's not a big one yet. I'm still trying to get more batteries. My source is out of them, so I'm hoping to find more. But I have a solar generator that my wife wanted me to get. We saw it at Costco for $2,800, and it's been handy. Right now, it's charging off the grid because we don't have any sun. We had sun one day and it filled it up, but it's been raining ever since. And it's been we had one day of sun last week, but I'm using that to charge the shed because the panels I have for the shed are not that. Yeah, here. Ah, go back. Go back. Good Irish whiskey. Okay, we have 6 months food storage, so I guess for winter. We have electricity for a few days. Electricity is a little harder to have storage for. Here in Oregon, they don't sell you a power wall for power storage when they put solar panels up because we have net metering, which means the extra electricity goes to PGE, our power company, and when we need it, it comes back to us. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about dehydrated water. You just get it out of the air and rehydrate it. But we have plenty of light. It's just stuff to power the rest of it. Oh gosh, there's that. Dad, charge it. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for a place to plug it. Maybe you can convince a liberal to buy a can of dehydrated water. Let's go. You know, there. Yeah, add more power to it. I have this guy. So walk around the house. You got water. I mean, I have light. And my wife can see me as I'm walking away. This percent. That's my cycling light. Yeah, dehydrated cans of dehydrated water pretty light. I saw that online one day. Hell, that's just an empty can, and people buy it. My shed, the footprint is 10 by 12, and it's 10. It's about 12 feet high. I had a shed in this spot. In fact, it's right next door to this one right now because we moved it to help my neighbor and uh, let me roll it. Used a car jack underneath. That I built a frame underneath, so made it a little easier to move. But the old shed was only 8 by 10, 9-year-old thing, and in the middle of the shed it was 6 feet. My neighbors behind me, they got a huge one. Did I build it? No, I only built this shed. Uh, I don't have a lot of land where I'm at. We moved inside the city, so our property's not that big. Um, so I couldn't build a huge shed like my neighbor got. It's a barn, basically. He wasn't using it for storage. It was just basically a barn. You put horses in it, something like that. But didn't have any horses. So he's just storing his lawn equipment, maybe trailers. Prepper community. Oh, yes. Um, Trying to build up a prepper community. Um, I'm talking to one neighbor, trying to tell him what he needs to do to get ready. Hopefully, he's doing something and not just going to rely on me. At that point, he's on his own. I'm sorry. I'm not going to have people leeching off me. My family can come. That's it. I'm not taking care of outsiders. So that's why I try to give out the information so others can be ready and they won't come to me. You understand? I don't want people coming to me for what they need. Now I have, yeah, exactly. And winter is how many months? Approximately 3. You know, make it through the winter, you're good. No, me either. I only help family. My parents are not able to do this themselves, so they'll move in. Now, my younger brother has a little more property, and his girlfriend has a lot more property, so we could probably all move there. I'll bring my solar panels, my food, all my stuff. We'll move in there. No, no, you're not coming here. No, you're not getting my food or my knowledge. I really got to get this thing good. Oh, I was moving around upstairs in the attic, and the ceiling is uncovered still. And I backed up, so I was hooking up some power up there, and I hit a nail on the back of my head. It hurt like hell. Yeah, the food I have, it comes in resealable bags, so you can use just what you need. I think there's 16 servants in a bag. Yeah, it was ouch. I kept checking for blood and there wasn't any. It felt like the nail went in my head. Wasn't hurting anything. You know, initially it's like, ow, crap, nail. It's all the roofing nails. Well, now they probably suspect that you're ready, and you need to one other thing you need to stock up on is protection. And I ain't talking about condoms. I'm looking at the grasshopper. The grasshopper never stores food. I always think of that story of the grasshopper uh, conversing with the ant. You know the ant stores up food, right? For the whole colony. Well, the grasshopper doesn't. Who lives through the winter? The ant. Grasshopper died. Yeah, you got to know your neighbor. The one thing you need to stock up on weapons and ammunition. If people find out you got food, they're going to show up at your door. Some of them might be armed, probably a lot of them. So you need to be ready to defend your food supply, your family, your shelter, your water, your electricity, everything you have. You need to protect it. Vices, yes. It's like the rice pilaf from for Patriots. Get a ton of Tabasco. I had to eat a liberal. maybe a little scrawny. They don't eat meat. Yep. I have somebody in the family that's building communities down in Mexico. His worship home. Back now. It's a little hard to do that here in the city. Get a neighbor, somebody that's looking at buying a neighbor's house. Find that. Are you not a prep? No. Did you survive? If you break this down? Hey, there's Lenny. Oh, gosh, can I come over? I love roast. What kind of roast? Beef roast, pork roast, chicken roast? Pot roast? Oh, gosh, I could go for pot. You're in the city and she hits the fan. It might be too late. Well, if I need to, I can bug out and head back there. Go back to Four Corners. Not sure how. Oh, beef pot roast is all. That's the best. Potatoes and carrots. Oh, yeah. Dang it, Lenny, you're making me hungry. And it's not even dinner time here. It's only 5:57 in the afternoon. The sun is still up here. Well, it's off the horizon, but the sky's still lit. And I probably have another 15 minutes before I got to get off. I need to call my parents, see how they're doing. I'm near a new target. I'm near Portland. 5 minutes from Portland. Many of my family say Portland. I got rednecks in the family. My parents probably have a better chance of survival in a nuke situation. I close. But then again, they have to try to survive after a nuke. Me, I'll be walking with Jesus. South Bend. Well, we have North Bend and Bend. Yeah, we have Bend. So you're south of here. Which are you farther west than me? Battleborn? 6 miles. That's good distance. Anyway, you're in the middle of the country. I have no idea where South Bend is. I know nothing about South Bend. I was making a joke. Yeah. I'm terrible at it, I know. Made me think of a joke. You probably already heard it. Reno. Oh, beautiful area, by the way. I've been through Reno. I love it. You got the chicken ranch too, don't you? Battleborn, you got the chicken ranch right there, right? I guess federally run now. Oh, I heard that. I heard the federal government took that over. Yeah, that's close to Lake Tahoe, right? I love Lake Tahoe. Beautiful. Such blue water. Ah, well, one of the things I do on my when I talk about prepper stuff, uh, how to build power system. I can show you how to build solar panels too. You heard about the new Paradigm Trail out in Marin County? That's a funny story. Like, Marin County is the birthplace of mountain biking. So you think, wow, I can go to Marin County and we can mountain bike all over the place. There's no trails in it. The hikers took control of all the trails, kicked the bikes out. So the birthplace of mountain biking, bikes are banned. Real nice, huh? Well, uh, the mountain bikers got banded together and built their own trail. Oh, the new paradigm. Secret for years. And a hiker found it. Just stumbled upon it. Said, nice trail. And then saw a bike. So went back to whoever handles the trail system and said, hey, mountain bikers make an illegal trail. So it cost them, I think, 20,000 to build the trail. I think it cost 3 million to tear it up. But they hate mountain bikers so much they went and tore it up. They weren't even using it. Just the mountain bikers. Lenny, you guys have a meal at church after service? My parents, theirs does. My church has a meal before church. Yeah, before service. Ours is in the evening. Like right now, I guess I'm not there. They start the service at 6, so it's 6 now. Oh, okay. I uh I knew Misty Giovi and oh gosh, I forgot her first name. Oh, no, Lee Donovan. And I met guy had purple bike, long curly hair. Uh, Tinka Juarez and John Tomac. I entered one mountain bike race and I decided to walk after that. I was the guy on the trail that stopped on when I got the single track. Like, make it up the hill. Everybody, oh man! And yeah, they're cursing like, sorry. So I decided to watch. I'll do mountain biking, but I'm not a racer. Hey, yeah, it's good to see you, man. Now we got another Arizonan here. What part of Arizona do you live in, S? I'm curious because if you have a shortage of water, I know how to make some. That's the big topic tonight. Okay, I have no idea where Wickenburg is, but You said you're out in the desert. That's what I needed to know. Anywhere near Phoenix. Well, anyway, I found out about two different systems to make water. It doesn't really make it, it just collects it. And you can use them almost anywhere. The reason I say almost anywhere is because when you have dry heat, there's a reason it's dry. All the water evaporated. There you go. But if you have no water coming in, I know how to collect it. There's no water production in very cold climates. There's no water in the air. It's on the ground. Because cold makes water condense and fall to the ground. It dries the air. But in the desert, you may think it's very dry there, but there's water. You have cactus, flower cactus in Arizona, lots of them. But you don't need to tap those. You can make your own water. And I watched several videos today on that topic. One guy came up with a system. It's a fairly new system, but he had a lot of money, so he spread it all over the world in the warmest climates, the driest climate. It's produced water. They showed one village in Africa in the Sahara, or near the Sahara Desert, where it's very dry. And they had a water farm set up. And what they did is they collected water from the air. You wouldn't think going there that you could get water from the air. It's so dry. It's a dry heat. But here's the basic design. You have this long panel, and in the middle, it has a solar panel. The solar panel powers the whole thing. It's probably using the condensation method too. But it collects water out of the air. So yeah, it does condense. It condenses that water inside the two side of the solar panel. And it sends that water to a tank or into your home to a tank. Say you put a water tank outside your kitchen where you're drinking water. Go get water out of the kitchen sink. That's the most common place to get your water. And it has a dispenser of its own. So you don't use water out of the faucet. Use that to wash your dishes. Use that to take a shower. Use that to wash your clothes. The drinking water from this panel system goes to a tank and has its own spigot, its own faucet, whatever you want to call it. And it makes it without using any power. The other system, they're not as fixed, is a portable system you put on a tripod. It has a cone at the bottom, a metal cone, and it has circuitry inside the box with battery and a solar panel. And that circuitry inside the box runs off that 12-volt battery, which is being powered by the sun, causing that cone to get very cold. And then you put a container underneath it because the cone will start to sweat. What it's doing is condensing the air, pulling water out of the air. And then you fill up the container. So that's your portable water system. I think it's half a gallon an hour. if you have the right system or you have multiple. One might pull out maybe 20% of a gallon or 1/5 of a gallon. And how cold? Yeah, colder you get it without it freezing. You keep it above freezing. You can turn it, you know, use the water. Then I was watching other stuff, and there was a guy from India. He works at the University of Arizona. He's a climatologist. Now he sees, the climate's getting warmer. It's gone up 1 degree and 1 degree. This is a cyclical event. Happens every 1,000. And you get warming around the world. Oh, there you go. Okay, enjoy, and please don't talk how good it is. You make me hungry. No, I'm trying not to eat so much. Figure out what. Oh gosh, it's okay. Good. Good. Okay, chunky habanero salsa. I think the other one's. Well, actually, I should be talking to my parents. This is gonna make me cold. Sweat. No, I'm going to dedicate my channel to more about prepping topics than I have done in the past, because shit's about to hit the fan. That's some good talk. Winnie fault. Who? What? Who? Tubs. Okay. Glasses. Yeah. Storage. My food supplies in the house. I don't want to put it on. It's a moist environment, so I store my stuff. Really? Nope. Still pretty liberal there. We we have a ballot on the measure. Ballot measure on the ballot. We have a measure on the ballot. I got it right way. Measure 114, which will keep a database when you buy a gun. One requirement with 114 is that when you go buy a gun, first, extensive background check, more extensive than it's been in the past. Fingerprinting, that's one reason I'm against it. And you have to register your gun. But one thing I do like about it is when you go buy a gun, you have to take the safety course. That I'm okay with. Yep, credit cards. But credit cards don't usually, well, you're right. But they're increasing that now. One question. What will everybody do when they digitize the money? If our money becomes digital, they can track your every purchase. They can shut off your money. Mm-hmm. With digital money, they can track your every purchase. The Fed and the Treasury have joined. They're now one. So it's in the process. And they're talking about making a Fed currency, digital currency, like Bitcoin. Right now, if you go to the bank, take money out of the bank, they report that to the government. Let's say you have like $5 million in the bank, and you go out there and you pull 50,000 out. You're on the radar. The cops can pull you over and confiscate your money. And you have to fight to get it back. So I heard this on the news, mainstream media. So if YouTube, you think I'm giving misinformation, check your sources. It comes from the mainstream media. I stop eating it. Can't get hot. What? I can't take the bag in the house. Got 2 bags in there now. In the house. Okay. I'm gonna have to call it a night. Battleborn, please come back. Everybody else has already been here before. I love your insight, Battleborn. Thanks. But I need to go in. I have work tomorrow. And I need to call my parents and see how my parents are doing. They're in their 80s. My mother she turns 80 this year on the 10th. That's okay. I understand. Yeah, everybody have a great day. And hope your week is wonderful. Watch Liberal Hive Mind and Zedcation. They're great for good laugh, man. I love it. And the Hodge twins. I discovered the Hodge twins. Those guys are so funny. They lost more than half of their viewers when they came out as conservative. And it was on accident. But now they're more famous than they ever were. Thanks to those that quit, unsubscribed. They told everybody. Now they're even bigger than they're bigger than they've ever been. And they got to meet Trump. So good night, everybody. We will win. Just stay strong and keep up the fight. I guess I didn't end it. Here, hit the wrong button. Good night. End.